mission with Ryzen has always been clear. It's about making the right bets 3 to 5 years in advance and making sure that they come to fruition.
Gimme.
Our goal is to give you the best. Welcome, everyone. Big welcome to all of you, and thank you all for joining us today. I've been looking forward to this moment all year, and I know many of you have too. It's been a challenging year for everyone as we've navigated the COVID-19 pandemic globally. But one thing we've learned is just how important high-performance computing technologies really are. From work to school to gaming to entertainment, the PC is now the computing platform of choice in 2020. And I'm really excited to show you today what we have been working on for the next-gen PC platforms, and especially for all of you gamers. Now, it's already been an incredible year for gamers. There's so much excitement around the next-gen consoles. We are so proud to power the new Sony PlayStation 5 with a high-performance custom chip featuring our AMD Ryzen CPU and AMD Radeon GPU technology. And we are equally proud that custom AMD processors also power the new Microsoft Xbox Series X and Series S consoles, again, featuring our high-performance Ryzen and Radeon technologies. These consoles are bringing just incredible technology to gamers all over the world and are really a result of just deep engineering partnerships over many, many years with both Sony and Microsoft. Now, gaming is at the heart of so much of what we do at AMD. Whether you're talking about PCs or consoles or cloud gaming and mobile. AMD loves gaming, and we like to say gaming begins with AMD. So today, we're going to talk specifically about our next-gen PC gaming platform. So let's talk a little bit about Ryzen. Now, you guys know we brought the first generation of Ryzen to market in 2017, and we actually had one goal. It was to build the best PC desktop processor possible. Now, we knew we wouldn't get there in one step, but with each generation of Ryzen, it's gotten better. And we focused on how do we deliver more performance? How do we deliver the best features? And how do we give more capabilities to all of you PC enthusiasts so that you can do more than you ever thought with your desktop or in your notebook? And we've made great progress. We started with Ryzen in desktops, and then we introduced Ryzen Threadripper in high-end desktops. And now, actually, Ryzen is in many amazing notebook systems with our Ryzen 4000 series. I think it's safe to say that AMD loves the PC, and I think also it's safe to say that PC users love Ryzen. So we really appreciate that. Now look, let's just focus on the desktop for a few minutes. The progress we have made over the last few years has been really amazing. If you look at the market before Ryzen, the desktop PC was on sort of an incremental performance slope for the last many years.
Fancy slideshow.
Now, over the past 3 years, we've significantly changed
Holy!
and really completely reset expectations as we've gone from first-gen Ryzen to second-gen, now to third-gen Ryzen. We were the first to launch a 7-nanometer desktop processor, and today, third-gen Ryzen leads in so many areas. We're the highest in multi-threaded performance. We are the best in terms of power efficiency, and third-gen Ryzen is an absolutely great gaming processor. But as you know, we're really ambitious. So our work with Ryzen is never done. Our engineers have been on this maniacal focus of what can we do more? What can we do better? So today, we're here to talk about our brand new CPU core.
Zen
You've all been waiting for
3.
it.
Oh, very
it's all about
clever.
Zen 3. And with Zen 3, we focused again on bringing the best to the PC market. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished. Zen 3 increases our lead in overall performance. It increases our lead in power efficiency. And also now, it delivers the best single-threaded performance and gaming performance as well.
Really?
We've made massive changes in the core architecture, and I'm sure all of you want to know what's
Intel was
inside
always
Zen 3. So let me hand it
10K
over
series,
to AMD CTO
known for
Mark
that single-thread
Papermaster to
performance.
give you all the details. Mark?
So if they're claiming what is true...
Well, thank you, Lisa. I couldn't be more excited than to share a little bit more about Zen 3 and our progression to get here. It's been quite a journey. We set a course over 5 years ago to design a family of high-performance x86 CPUs.
Design a
Our
family.
goal, very simply, outright leadership. We set up the team so that development of multiple processor generations could be done in parallel, with designers leapfrogging from one generation to another.
He's ready to
This has
upgrade
resulted in consistent
their
delivery to
motherboard
the
and
market
CPU
as promised. I could not
this
be
year.
more proud
Oh
than to
boy.
help unveil our third generation of Zen Core debuting in Ryzen desktops this fall.
Yeah.
It is a beast in performance and will deliver absolute leadership in the x86 market. Zen brought us back into high performance with a 52% improvement in instruction per clock.
I think the
in
reason
a
why I'm
single
kind of
generation.
interested in
It
this
built a
Zen
strong
3
base for us
and this
to
event
build
in
upon
general
as
is
we develop the Zen family.
I'm going to be
Last
processing
year, Zen
more
2 brought
or encoding
double-digit
more
percent increase in
4K
instruction per clock and
PS5
debuted
footage
7 nanometer and chiplet
in the
technology.
future.
That 7 nanometer efficiency
So I need
enabled
something
leadership, multi-core performance, and core
top of the
density.
line.
The innovative chiplet implementation allowed us ease of manufacturing with the small 7 nanometer die and scalability to leadership core counts. And now Zen 3. Wow, what a great job by the design team to improve every aspect of the CPU, delivering leadership performance in that same 7 nanometer node. Higher frequency, higher instruction per clock, with design improvements across all of the CPU components, and lower latency on top of that. You look at some of the key elements. There's a new layout of our processor that brings all the cores onto a unified 8-core complex, and that accelerates core-to-core communication. That's especially helpful for gaming workloads. That consolidation actually allows every core to directly access the 32 megabytes of L3 cache, and that dramatically accelerates workloads that are latency sensitive, like gaming. And finally, significant changes throughout the Zen 3 architecture, generating a 19% instruction per clock uplift. That's on top of the significant gains that we had just in the mid of last year with Zen 2. Altogether, Zen 3 is our most significant architectural update yet across the Zen family. We made the Zen 3 floating point and integer execution units wider, more flexible, and allows us to deliver more execution capability to the user at a lower latency.
Okay.
We've increased the number of loads and stores that we can do versus Zen 2, helping us feed those wider execution capabilities of Zen 3. We've added more branch prediction bandwidth. It allows Zen 3 to tackle back-to-back predictions much more quickly, reducing the delays. We call it zero bubble.
Zero bubble
These innovations
branch
keep
prediction.
Zen 3 ahead of the industry norm on generational improvements and position Zen 3-based Ryzen to be a clear desktop performance leader. Microprocessor performance engineering never has one single bullet. It takes focused microprocessor engineering. It's a broad set of improvements that are needed to make a great architecture. It takes innovation on all of the key levers.
Do you mean
Zen
of
3 is a
25
total
workloads,
front-to-back redesign.
19%?
The microarchitecture had a laser focus on performance on every element, end-to-end improvements, caching, load store, our execution units, our prefetching, our dispatch, our decode.
Break it down for me.
Zen 2, in fact, had been organized with 2 4-core cache complexes, and it was tightly integrated. That was a very good design, but what we found is that we brought that together into that single unified cache core complex, that we brought that direct access to 32 megabytes of L3 cache rather than the 16 megabytes that we have with Zen 2. That direct access to a cache pool of this size is very significant for gaming. They tend to make frequent use, of course, of the memory subsystem, and in fact, many games have a dominant thread. And that makes especially heavy use of the cache, and that thread now sees effectively twice the L3 cache in Zen 3. So every core can now communicate directly to the cache without traversing across the die, and that reduces latency. And it stays synchronized for applications using AI, audio, physics, and more. You can see that we continue our relentless commitment to energy efficiency with every generation. We're always honing our design methodologies to focus on performance per watt, even as we make the processors faster for gamers. Zen 3 is no different, delivering up to 24% improvement in power efficiency versus the prior generation. That's double-digit performance per watt uplift in the same process node. And that's on top of all the architectural changes that we drove in to drive up the performance. Our commitment to energy efficiency across time has put us in the driver's seat. Today, we're more than 2.8x more efficient than competing high-end desktop processors. And that's only a strengthening of the leadership that we demonstrated during the prior Zen 2 era.
It's a bold claim.
We will not let up going forward. We're focused on execution. Zen 3 is shipping as promised, and the 5nm Zen 4 on track, in design. The AMD team is hitting on all cylinders, and there's no shortage of innovations for the next generation of Zen processors to keep AMD in the forefront and deliver the
How long
best
do you
compute
think
experience for our
Okay,
customers.
Zen 4
Thank you.
2022.
And let me welcome back Lisa to now show off our Zen
Is it really
3
like
and new Ryzen processors.
a year or two off between Zen 4?
Thank you, Mark. That was great.
Benchmarks.
I'm so proud of what the team has accomplished with Zen 3. We really focused on what is most important for gamers and enthusiasts. And at 19% IPC increase, it's our largest increase generation over generation since we launched the Zen family. So now let's see Zen 3 in action. I'm so proud to show you for the very first time the AMD Ryzen 5000 series for high-performance PCs, the world's first Zen 3 powered CPU.
5?
This is the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. 12 cores, 24 threads, and a boost up to 4.8 gigahertz. It's a very special product, the ultimate enthusiast processor. Compared to the 3900 XT, the 5900X has 19% higher IPC, higher clock speeds, and all of the Zen 3 core improvements that Mark talked about.
Do people notice that
all while
19%
remaining at
difference?
105 watts. This makes Ryzen 5900X a big upgrade from 3rd gen Ryzen all around, but especially in gaming. Now let me turn it over to Robert
Game.
Howard to show
Every
you the
sentence is gonna end with
5900X in action.
and gaming.
Thanks,
Watch,
Lisa.
Watch. He's
Hey,
gonna say
everyone,
and gaming.
let me
Watch.
give you a sense of just how much faster the 5900X is compared to our current best, the 3900 XT.
Okay.
To do that, we're going to use Shadow of the Tomb Raider, a game I personally love.
Dude, this
and a
game
game
has been
reviewers often
benchmarked
look
to
at to
death.
judge CPU
No one
performance.
plays it.
We're going to run the built-in benchmark here at 1080p
Warzone.
using the high image quality preset
Among
on
Us.
two
We want to see
otherwise
Among Us
identical
benchmarks.
systems. You can see a whopping 28% increase just by moving from the 39XT to the 5900X in Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Are you?
And
let's
as
be
you will
honest.
soon see, the performance from the
40
5900X
FPS. Are you gonna
is
see it?
faster than the competing processors as well. Now, as any enthusiast knows, 28% from a processor change is a massive upgrade.
That is true.
But that's what AMD customers like me can look forward to. This truly demonstrates the
Once
gaming
you're
strength
above
for Zen 3
140.
when you combine the historic IPC uplift, unified cores, and unified cache pools. Now, as we zoom out to look at a wider set of games, you can see that the 28% uplift in Shadow of the Tomb Raider is joined by many titles with significant double-digit performance improvements.
High
The
image
gains are
quality
even
preset.
bigger in titles like CS:GO
This is
and League of
1080.
Legends, where the highest possible
1080
frame rate
is
is
old
practically
news.
the #1 priority to be competitive.
Ultra HD
Overall,
or
gamers
4K.
upgrading from the Ryzen 3000
That's what I
series
like.
to the Ryzen 5000
Once it goes
series
beyond
can
120,
expect an average
140 FPS,
performance
it's like,
improvement
okay, great.
of
We achieved
26%
max performance
at 1080p.
that my
Again, this is just a
monitor
monumental
can
performance jump
output.
for an in-socket upgrade in the same motherboard.
So show me 4K,
and a true testament
solid
for how good
144,
Zen 3 is
250
in gaming.
hertz.
Now, as many know, strong gaming performance relies on strong single-core performance. That's exactly
True.
what Zen 3 has.
Okay.
And I want to show you using Cinebench R20 single-thread. There are many ways to assess single-thread performance, but Cinebench is a fast and easy tool that you can run at home. And it's one of the 25 workloads that we used to calculate the 19% improvement for Zen 3's instructions per cycle. As you can see, the 5900X
pretty
is
close.
the first desktop processor to ever break a 600 score. And we don't break it by a little, we break it by a lot with a score of 631.
Oh
We at
my
AMD
God.
heard you loud and clear as you challenged us
Less than a
to
minute
continue
difference.
investing in single-core performance,
It's
and the
kind of
results
huge.
speak for themselves.
You got a lengthy
The
video.
combination of IPC, frequency, cores, and cache give AMD the fastest cores in the desktop market and give you the best possible gaming performance. So let's take that landmark core performance into a head-to-head battle. Across the same set of games you just saw, the
1080p
AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is a clear winner at 1080p. As I promised you, AMD
PUBG.
wins in Shadow of the Tomb Raider by +6, and is joined by many other games popular with reviewers and users like you.
4K Ultra HD.
League of Legends and CSGO are once again standout victories for the Ryzen 9.
Yo, dude, I got a Ryzen 9.
5900X.
I played
So that was a lot of
1080p
data very
on
quickly.
CSGO.
Let's take a step back. Let's recap. You saw an average uplift of 26% for Ryzen customers upgrading from the 3000 series to the 5000 series.
Where's the
You
4000
just watched
series?
AMD deliver the highest single-core performance in the entire desktop PC market. And you just saw AMD clearly offer the best performance of any gaming processor on the market. I will put it plainly. We know that you're going to wait for benchmarks, but customers who buy processors purely for their gaming performance will absolutely want a Ryzen 9 5900X for the best possible PC gaming experience. Now let's bring Lisa back up to give you more details on these awesome gaming processors.
Thanks, Robert. That was fantastic. I hope you're all now convinced that the Ryzen 9 5900X is the best gaming processor in the world.
Okay.
Now let's look at the stack. In the 5000 series, we have a great choice for every gamer or PC enthusiast. In addition to the 5900X, we have the 5800X, an 8-core, 16-thread processor with
Oh, we don't
boost
want that.
frequencies up to 4.7 gigahertz at 105
I wonder if she's going to do a
And we also have the
5950X.
a 6-core,
with
12-thread
16
CPU
cores.
with boost frequencies up to 4.6
She probably is.
gigahertz
And
at
one
65
more
watts.
thing.
Now let's talk about price and availability. The 6-core 5600X is $299. The 8-core 5800X is $449. And the amazing 5900X, combining the leadership performance and power efficiency of Zen 3 in a 12-core 7nm design, is priced at $549.
Okay.
And all of these will be available globally on November 5th.
So less expensive than the
We're really proud of the
3950.
5000 series, but you know we're not done.
Give me that
We
39.
love our
Give me that
enthusiasts, and
5950.
there's one more processor in our stack,
50.
which is the ultimate processor for gaming and content creation.
5950.
For those of you who want the very best processor in a desktop PC, we have the 16-core Ryzen 9 5950X. The 5950X is simply an amazing CPU. 16
This will drive down the
cores,
price though
32
of the
threads,
3950.
and our
Probably
fastest
by $50, $100.
processor with boost frequencies up to 4.9 gigahertz.
Ah, God.
The 5950X breaks the Cinebench R20 single-threaded record that Robert set just a few minutes ago with a score of 640. It is truly the best in class in every dimension. Best gaming performance meets best processor for content creation.
Dude, this is going to be...
And all of this still at 105 watts. Now let's take a
950?
look at some
No,
of the
how much?
performance. If we look at the generational
750
uplift
or
from the
$800.
3950X to the 5950X, we see up to 27% more performance in CAD workloads and 12% more performance in rendering workloads. More impressively, we see up to 29% more gaming performance. And this is really how we bring the best of both worlds together.
On
The best for
1080p.
gamers
Woohoo!
and the best for creators. And now, if you put 5950X against the top of the stack from the competition,
Yes.
we see that the 5950X provides up to 59% more creative
Shots
performance
fired.
in rendering workloads, double-digit wins in video editing and software compiling, and we also win in lightly threaded CAD workloads as well. We're really proud of the fact that we also win in gaming. There's nothing like the 5950X in the world.
Yo, dog, you want
One
5%
processor
increase
that
in
delivers
gaming?
the best power efficiency,
We gotcha.
our highest clock speeds, the highest single-core performance in the
Good for them.
industry, and the highest multi-core. And it's priced at $799 and will also be available globally on November 5th. I hope you're now as excited about AMD Ryzen 5000 series as I am. Zen 3 is really amazing, and I'm so happy we could show it to you today. But you guys send me a lot of notes and a lot of tweets, and I know that you're not just excited about Ryzen 5000 series, but there's a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and curiosity about our Radeon lineup as well. So the next few weeks are just an amazing time for us.
Yes.
In addition to introducing our Ryzen 5000 series, we're also going to introduce our next-gen Radeon GPU, and I want to give you a small preview of that today.
Oh, hello.
This is the AMD Radeon RX 6000 series, which we now affectionately call Big Navi, thanks to many of you who nicknamed it for us. It is absolutely gorgeous and by far the most powerful gaming GPU we have ever built. We got a lot of requests from our fans on social, and I heard a whole conversation on the Full Nerd last week about wanting to see Zen 3 and Big Navi in action. So today, I'm going to show you a preview of what you can expect from AMD Ryzen 9 5900X and our Radeon 6000 series. We've been doing a tremendous amount of work optimizing gameplay with Ryzen 5000 and Radeon 6000 series. So let me show you today Borderlands 3, which is a very popular AAA title running at 4K resolution on the Ryzen 5900X and our Radeon 6000 series. Just take a look at that performance.
I don't know
Over
if this is
60
a game
frames
is
per second
really a
at
showcase.
4K with beautiful image
Death
quality.
Stranding would be better.
We are super excited
Let's
with
be
what
honest.
we've accomplished with Big Navi. In addition to Borderlands 3, here's a bit more of a performance preview on Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Gears of War 5 at ultra settings in 4K. And again, what you see is tremendous 4K performance across the board. We still have a few weeks until launch, and the
That's
team
what I
is
was
working
looking for,
really
4K
hard on
stuff.
fine-tuning things. But I hope you're as excited as we are about what Ryzen 5000 series and Radeon 6000 series can do together for your next-generation PC. So that brings us to the end. I hope you enjoyed today.
Here's
It's been so much
all
fun
you have to
spending
do
time
to
with
win
you.
the graphic
We have
card
a lot
war
more to show you later this month,
is
so join us again
better
on
pre-order
October
system,
28th, where
queue
we'll give you the
system,
full story of
and
our
have a lot of
AMD
stock.
Radeon RX 6000 series. And make sure you
'Cause
mark
it
your
is
calendar for November
impossible
5th to find Ryzen 5000 series on shelf
to get the
worldwide.
3080 or 3890
Take care and
without
stay safe.
selling it in like a minute at your favorite retailer. So all they gotta do is a queue system and an anti-bot system, and we're in business. And that was the AMD Zen 3 event.